Good morning, my diamond. SheilaTruelove here with you this fine morning. Today is Tuesday. I had to make this quick video before I head out to the office. This is a topic that I have been saying and I feel very strongly about when it comes to these churches. You have so many of these churches that can do so much for the communities, and yet they're not. Let me share this with you because it feels good to know that there's someone else who also acknowledges and they feel the same way that I do. Because, I mean, these churches are huge. Every 3 blocks. Let me share this.
The worst black neighborhoods got the most churches, because every single neighborhood that I have gone to, and I'm talking about any MLK throughout the United States, they have a church literally on every other street, if not right across the street from each other. But yet every time I turn around, there is another child that is getting shot up or dying in the communities, in the black communities. Children are dying every day. And before anybody out there says some dumb shit about, well, you need to go and talk to the pastors, you need to go and talk to the deacons, did that, went and talked to the pastors, went and talked to the deacons, not of all churches, but of most. And you know what happened? It ended with the pastors or the deacons trying to get under my dress, okay? So it didn't go very far. Now, I say that to say that when I go to the churches, my whole thing is, okay, why can't we have a few more community outreach programs where we come into the community and you do this and you do that? I will support, I will volunteer, and it gets nowhere, because the main thing that I'm hearing is, well, unless they're members of the church, it's not much we can do. And that's bullshit. That is bullshit. I don't care what anyone says. The worst black neighborhoods got the most churches, because
She told no lies here, honey. Let me see what some of the people will say. Yes, I definitely have noticed this also. I was just in my old hood, and they have got like 3 churches at one intersection. Don't stop trying, she says, whatever. I agree with every word you say, even about the pastors and the deacons. The men need to step up, talk, give time, whatever, child. Read, post, people, before you post comments, read them. Let them make sense. Don't be lazy. Wow. I know that you have so many of these pastors, and I have videos on that. Let me just share that with you, why they're not taking care of the neighborhoods and focusing on what they should be doing, because they're so busy doing this. I have to share this real quick. This is a pastor. He's caught at a hotel with a T, that's a transgender, in a hotel with this person.
Told them that once inside of the hotel room, he discovered that the individual was a T woman, and he immediately called off all activities because he felt disgraced. Really? But you didn't feel disgraced about being a married pastor going to a hotel room cheating on your wife.
Hello.
Nor did you feel disgraced, Pastor Antonio, about going to an area in Sao Paulo where men like you pick up T women for services.
What?
Come on, bro.
It's not only in the churches that they're sitting around focusing on chasing after women or molesting children. It's also with the Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't have no services to help the community out either.
14 individuals connected to the same religious organization, the Jehovah's Witnesses, as part of this ongoing investigation into child sexual abuse.
Okay, so you got that. Okay, that was 14 Jehovah's Witnesses. And now the Attorney General, they found 5 more Jehovah's Witnesses child molestation cases.
Charges against 5 men for allegedly sexually abusing children for years. All of them were members of the Jehovah's Witnesses Church. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas, she joins us live now in Center City. Taronda, we're learning these are not the first charges connected to the church.
Yes, for the 3rd time in 9 months, the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office is announcing those charges, all against men who are Jehovah's Witnesses. It's part of an ongoing investigation into child sexual abuse. Now, while the Attorney General would not go so far as to liken this to patterns of abuse that we've seen in the Catholic Church.
Okay, I don't have time to let you hear the whole thing. It's called 5 more charges when it comes to these Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not just the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's in these churches. That's why they can't do much for the community. They're too busy walking around with their eggplant, their pickle, or their corn on the cob in their hands. Here we go again. This is from, I love, indisputable, Dr. Rashad Ritchie.
Pastor marries a woman, then decides to kill his mistress on the day of his wedding. You would say, no way, Doc. Put him a full mass.
Not a pastor. There's a pastor.
You're looking at
the day
him.
of his wedding, he kills his mistress.
This is William Pounds. You see, the good reverend here was a pastor who has now been sentenced to life in prison for killing his girlfriend on the day that he was set to marry his other girlfriend.
This is what the pastors are doing instead of them reaching out to the community. Like I said, you have so many churches and kingdom halls or whatever. Don't even bother with the kingdom hall because the Bible speaks as a church. It don't speak about no kingdom hall. But the point is, you see why we can't get the kind of help that we need inside of these churches? Why they're not doing much for the community? And that's why you have to be careful. Like I'm always promoting, always make sure you get yourself, if you're interested in this marriage thing, I can't be so bothered because when they interviewed the 304s made it very clear that majority of their clients are married men. 90% of their clients are married men who have wives and a lot of them have children. You know what a 304 is, right? Professionals, as they call them. Ex-workers. 90% of their clients. And then when it comes to the churches, with the elders, the ministerial servants, the ministers, pastors and deacons and priests, this is what's going on. This is why we can't get any help for these churches to take care of the community. Let me tell you one church that I highly recommend, and every church on the planet should be like Grace Fellowship. They have something to do every day of the week, Monday through Sunday. They have women's group. They have the men, you get your sermon. Then they have where you give God praise with music. And then they have that on Saturday and Sunday. So in case, if you're not available on Sunday, like me, I like Saturdays. They have women's groups. They have men groups. They have aerobics. They have yoga. They have movie night. They have potluck. They have things for the community to do so Christians can mingle with other Christians. All churches should have that. They have more than enough room. They have more than enough churches that can do more for the community. Anyway, I've got to run. I just wanted to share this with you quickly because when I was observing that TikTok, it resonated with me so well because this is exactly what I've been saying for years. I have a big old Catholic church. St. Clair's Catholic Church. Huge, where they could do so much for the community. They only have a handful of people that come on Saturday. And those are the post-war generation. They're like in their 80s and up. And once they start transitioning out, they don't hardly have anyone. They have a pantry once a month. That's about it. They don't have no AA meetings, no NA meetings, no moderation management, no Al-Anon. They don't do nothing but sit there and take up huge amounts of space. They should tear them down and set that up for people who are homeless and set it up for housing because they're useless. Anyway, I got to run, my darlings. I love you. And stay prayed up. And stay away from these, what do I call them? Demons, honey. Hold on a moment. I call it when demons pose as holy men and they pretend to be men of God. Demons can pose as holy men. It's not just about the scandal. It's about the deception that leads many people astray. Many followers trust these leaders blindly only to find out later that they put their faith and their trust in a demon. So you have to keep in mind that there are demons who are posing as holy men. I love you. I got to run. Stay prayed up. For real.